Today's third video for you is firstly Somalia. We know that in coming days a new president will be elected in Somalia. Election for upper and lower house of the parliament have been completed. Today parliament met to finalize the date for the election of new speaker. What happened there? There was exchange of hot words. There was literally a chaos in Somalia's parliament. Al-Shabaab also carried out an attack near Somalia's parliament. We have a video clip for you. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian diaspora community in the US pro-Ethiopian government has announced to protest in the US on weekly basis. The announcement came on Sunday when protesters gathered in front of the US White House. Thirdly, Dr. Tedros an hour ago shared a message about siege of Tigray. In earlier messages, he placed Ethiopia at number 1 in terms of laying siege to Tigray. But this time, he is targeting Eritrea. He is placing Eritrea at number 1. Interestingly, 3 days ago, Yemane Gebremeskel, Eritrean information minister, spoke against Dr. Tedros. Dr. Tedros has responded. And lastly, we have some pictures for you regarding the ongoing military operation against Oromo Liberation Army. What is OLA doing? Are new government forces being sent to the battlefront? We have some pictures for you. Firstly, we are Somalia. We know that a much delayed presidential election is due to be held in coming days. Election for the 2 houses of the parliament have been almost completed. Today, the parliament met to decide the date for the election of the speaker of upper house and speaker of lower house. The date has been finalized on the 26th and 27th of April. Speaker for the upper and lower houses will be elected. At the end of this session, there was literally a chaos in the parliament. MPs exchanged hot words. Some say they exchanged physical blows as well. No confirmation about physical blows, but they did exchange some hot words. Overall, there was an atmosphere of tension in Somalia's parliament. Farmajo and opposition camps, they are trying to gain the support of as many MPs as they can. Now there is the role of MPs. Who will they elect as the president, as the speaker? That remains to be seen. Al-Shabaab, meanwhile, carried out an attack near Somalia's parliament today. While the parliament was meeting to finalize preparation for the election of new speaker, several mortar shells landed at a place close to the parliament. Luckily, no one was injured reportedly. And Al-Shabaab has claimed the responsibility for this attack. This attack shows the reach of Al-Shabaab, that this armed group can hit anywhere in Mogadishu. So it hit the parliament in Mogadishu where lawmakers were there. It can hit any place in Somalia. There is no doubt about that. Watch this clip from Somalia's parliament, which shows the atmosphere in Somalia's parliament, which we saw today. Secondly, viewers, Ethiopian diaspora community in the US pro-Ethiopian government has decided to protest in front of US White House on a weekly basis. This announcement came on Sunday when dozens of diaspora community members protested in front of the White House. The protest was against HR 6600 S3199. The protesters are keeping the pressure upon the US government. They want the US government to cancel HR 6600 S3199, the two bills which propose sanctions on Ethiopian government. The bills have not been cancelled so far. They could be considered by the House and Senate in coming days. Tigray diaspora is rallying that House and Senate should press ahead with further action on these two bills, while pro-government diaspora is trying to stop the two bills. We heard slogans against US member of House and member of Senate who backed HR 6600 and S3199. We saw a protest in front of Brad Sherman's office a few days ago. Brad Sherman backed HR 6600, and a protest in front of the office of Bob Menendez is being planned. Bob Menendez backed S3199. So both diaspora groups are continuing their activities in the US. On weekly basis, we'll see a pro-Ethiopian government diaspora community protest in the US in Washington. Thirdly, was Dr. Tedros, head of WHO, once again spoke about Tigray's siege an hour ago. This time, he is targeting Eritrea more than Ethiopia. He is placing Eritrea at number 1. In earlier tweets, he mentioned Eritrea, but he used to place Eritrea at number 2. What did he say this time? Dr. Tedros says, Eritrea invaded Tigray in November 2020, and with Ethiopian forces sealed off 7 million people from the world. So he's putting the primary responsibility on Eritrea in this tweet. A truce was called 3 weeks ago, but only 69 trucks, 4% of the needed aid have been allowed in. People are dying. Siege must end. You see that this time he is targeting Eritrea more than Ethiopia. Yes, siege is there, no doubt about that. That Tigray is still under a siege. And the aid which is entering Tigray, it is not sufficient. Interestingly, I think 4 days ago or 3 days ago, Eritrean Information Minister Yemane Gebremeskel lashed out at Dr. Tedros. Yemane Gebremeskel said 3 days ago that Dr. Tedros was abusing the platform of World Health Organization. He had launched a defamation campaign against Eritrea, and he was violating the code of conduct of the UN, and UN should start disciplinary proceedings against Dr. Tedros. So today Dr. Tedros responded. Dr. Tedros is keeping the pressure upon Ethiopian and Eritrean governments. Obviously, he is heard. His tweets, his messages are seen, read, and people follow him. So he is the most powerful Tigrayan voice highlighting the plight of Tigrayans in Ethiopia. Lastly, we have some pictures for you showing the activities of OLA fighters and government forces. Around 2 weeks ago, Ethiopian government forces, federal regional forces launched a military campaign against Oromo Liberation Army. OLA is continuing its graduation, its training, recruitment activities. You can see some pictures on your screen. The pictures are from Central Oromia, West Shiva zone. Reportedly, West Shiva is one of the new strongholds of OLA. OLA was using Western and Southern Oromia as its strongholds in the past. But in recent months, we have seen that OLA has taken control of several major areas, major towns in West Shiva zone. These pictures are from West Shiva zone 2. Secondly, some pictures from government side. Government forces are receiving some reinforcements. You can see a convoy of government forces of Ethiopian National Defense Force, which is reportedly on its way towards a front line in Oromia. So far, no detailed briefing by Ethiopian National Defense Force, Oromia Regional Force, Ethiopian federal government about this operation. Have they made any gains, government forces? OLA is issuing statements on a regular basis claiming that it has repelled the attacks, that it is holding its ground. But we are waiting for some government side's statement as well. What does government say? We have not seen any major OLA leader captured so far. Government has shared some pictures of OLA fighters from East Valaga, but Uda Turbi denies that the persons shown are not OLA fighters. Let's see. Maybe in coming days we'll have government's position about the ongoing military campaign against the Oromo Liberation Army. Thanks for watching.